Hello, and welcome to this lo-fi version of the English Bite. My name is Federico Arteaga, Academic Director at Lexicom, is your English, and you're gonna see this is gonna be a special one, so get ready. This English Bite is not going to be about things in the English language like nouns or vocabulary or grammar or something like that. No, today we're gonna talk about the language, not in the language, but about the language. So we're going to see 5 tips for autonomous learning when we're talking about learning English. How can you become a better student on your own by exploiting resources around you and having better strategies? So get ready. There is another special characteristic to this English Bite, and is that all subtitles and all captions that you're going to see down here are going to be in Spanish to help learners who still need that extra help in order to understand all content. So welcome everyone. Tip number 1 for autonomous learning is have agency. Be responsible for your own learning. Know what kind of exercises you like and what kind of exercises you don't like. What are your learning strategies? What time of day do you learn better? So knowing all these things, knowing what kind of teacher, what kind of conversation, what kind of time of day, what kind of platform you learn better. For example, now in remote learning, I interact better on Meet or Teams or Zoom or whatever it is, right? But always know how your strategies for learning progress and how they accompany you through your life. So have agency. Tip number 2 for autonomous learning is balance your intake and your output. How much English you consume and how much English you produce. Now, for everybody who's learning English in any place and any other language, it's always going to be like this. We always understand more than what we can produce. Always. We will always understand more than what we can produce. It's just going to happen, right? But every time that you consume English, if you're watching a series on some streaming service, for example, and I put the caption in English to help me. Okay, fine. You're consuming a lot of English. Which one are you producing? Right? How are you producing in English? Just take a notebook and write a couple of lines, not an entire page, just a couple of lines. I thought the episode today was very good because blah 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 blah. I didn't like it because blah 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 blah. Right? Have the opportunity, right? But you have to find the balance. You're going to understand a lot and you're going to produce a little less, but you need to produce. Every activity in which you engage to receive English has to imply some production of English, right? Balance the intake and the output. How much English you consume, how much English you produce. It's always going to be like this. More understanding than production, but it's very important to do it. Tip number 3 towards autonomous learning has to do with Spanish, right? Don't forget your Spanish while you're learning English. Or you say, I'm trying to think in English. Really? Why? How does it help you? It costs a lot of time and effort. Why don't you just think however you want to think the ideas in Spanish, in numbers, in pictures, right? And then do the translation. Just invest a little more time and mental effort in the translation to do it faster, right? But don't think about thinking in English. We don't think in a language only. We think in a collection of languages, and we think about different forms of communication like smells, images, memories, sounds. So how do you think? You think in all these things. What we need to work on is faster translation methods in your head, right? And mix and match. English, Spanish is there, right? You have to remember this. Language is infrastructure. Bilingualism is infrastructure. Learning English is just making bigger roads for you to drive the car of your personality all around. Mix and match. Tip number 4 is very, very important. Context over memory. It's better to understand vocabulary, for example, from a situation than from a list, right? So, for example, when we're talking about phrasal verbs, like wake up, take on, look forward to, give up, all those are phrasal verbs. To learn them is very difficult because sometimes when we have a list, the only relationship between them is the alphabetical order. But it's better if tomorrow I have a meeting with the finance section of the office to talk about assets. And so maybe if I go on internet and look up assets, finance, phrasal verbs, learn English, that is going to throw out a couple of answers, right? And learning the phrasal verbs in context is better to learn them than in a list. Put vocabulary in context, not in memory, right? So sometimes you're gonna forget. Fine, it's normal. It's human to forget some things, but context helps learning better than memory. And the fifth tip for autonomous learning in English language is be curious. Stay curious, ask questions, look up in a book, go over here, ask over there, talk to people, find a new course, watch a new series. Pick up a new hobby that you only do in English. Imagine that you start doing origami. You have never done origami, but you decide that all the videos that you watch on origami are going to be in English. So it's an activity in your life that is just in English. That is going to make it real inside the everyday of your life, not only studying. We hope that you have enjoyed this very special lo-fi English bite. As you can see, I'm wearing the independent filmmaker look with this very grainy image, because we wanted to talk a little bit more than just language about the learning of language, and autonomous learning is the way to go. My name is Federico Ortega. I'm the director in the academic section at Lexicom. Is your English, and I'll see you around. Keep practicing.